What is up, my friends? My name is Ecothromi, and tonight we are here with episode 16 of the Springtrap. Cleric Dragoon is here above me, and our guest of the night is Snip. You better know him from back in the day, a war veteran from Warwells from a few months back. Lots of great questions came through for Snip and for Goon and I, and we're ready to roll into it, guys. 16 weeks. It's pretty crazy that we've been rolling that long already. Also, happy St. Paddy's Day to everybody. I hope that you're drinking along with us, although I'm just drinking some G Fuel. I'm sure the boys over there have something a little bit more festive with them. So, Goon, what's happening, man?
What is going on, everybody? And Echo, Snip, nice to see you guys, man. I'm looking forward to this St. Paddy's Day's Springtrap show with Snip alumni. Snip, by the way, a great fan of your work, man, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited to talk to you tonight, man. So, without further ado, carry on.
Snip, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? For those people out here watching the show that don't know who Snip is, why don't you fill them in a little bit on what you are, what you do, and why you're awesome?
Well, the awesome part that he added in the end, that is definitely the one objective part of all of what he said. Everything else could be subjective, but the awesome, that is objective. No, I guess I could say now I'm a former Clash YouTuber. As many of you know who do know me, I left the Clash world after Season 2 of the CWL, I believe, and moved on to photography. So I've been over on Instagram and out in the real world doing photography instead of YouTube videos, although soon I will be starting up some photography videos because I do miss videos in the YouTube community. So I will be back, but yeah, pretty much I was in Warwales and I made Clash videos for a couple years probably. Mm-hmm. I'm back from like the Jake One Hive days. One Hive is where I started, moved over to Warwales, and spent the remainder of my career in Warwales.
Nice. Well, I know that I watched all your stuff back when you were doing it, and I always had a lot of respect for what you put together. Very knowledgeable attacker, and you did a great job of explaining it to the community. So thank you for all that stuff that you did back then. And I know that you're doing a little bit of streaming too. I hear that maybe a stream tomorrow night. If that's happening, I'm gonna have to stop through.
Tomorrow, yes, the end of Warwales by Forever. Their CWL. So basically, the whole season 3, I was gone. I left after season 2, and the whole debacle that happened. Mm-hmm. For Warwales, that amongst other things. I mean, I made a whole retirement video about all the reasons I left. But sat out season 3, or just I'm still out. But then now Warwales have gotten back in. They put a lot of work into getting back in. I've still been in touch with the Warwales co-leaders, so been in touch with them. And Maxwell, who does their YouTube, does not stream. And so when it came about that he wasn't streaming, I think I had made a joke that like, you know, hey, I'll come stream your CWL Wars. And then thinking Maxwell was streaming, and then he said, no, I don't want to stream. And so I said, all right, I'll come support you guys. And that's kind of how it happened.
Okay, well, that works out. Streaming is fun. It's something different. You haven't done much of it either, right?
The first stream was, post YouTube retirement. And I was talking to Lady B about it a bunch. And probably streaming is one of the things that I actually do regret not doing, because a lot of my content, obviously anyone that watched my content know, I focused a lot of my content on live stuff, like live attacks. I really did like the live stuff. I had obviously Samurai Snip. And so streaming is like a whole next level of live. So
yeah, it definitely is. It's a lot of fun. It's a whole different world from YouTube videos. I hope you enjoy it though. I'll be coming through to check it out. I want to throw some love in the chat. I see we got Radical Rosh in the house. We got Clashing Duke right here. Spooby's here, and Rose Panda, one of my great mods. Whole bunch of other people too. Time to Clash came through. Remember, guys, if you have any questions throughout the show, you can just leave them in the chat. And what I'm going to be doing is just taking note of them, putting them on the side, and pulling them up towards the end of the show. Sometimes even if there's a really good one, I'll pull it up right away. But basically, the plan here is to get through the questions that came through on Twitter and on Discord. Remember, if you ever want to submit a question, you can hit me or Goon up on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are all under our faces right now, so you should go follow all of us. And yeah, guys, so let's get to these questions. I'm ready to jump into it. Snip, I get the feeling a lot of them are going to be for you, and to be very honest, I didn't do much reading through any of the questions. So, I don't know. Let's just jump right into it and see how we start things out. And I think I have some Twitter questions to start. Again, there we go. Oh, you see? I didn't see how that messed things up right there. I'll have to fix that, but let's get to the Twitter questions last, I guess, since I messed that up. Has Snip revealed his face before, or will it be the first time?
They must have missed Snip stream, the inaugural Snip stream. We did
Yeah.
face cam, so.
But all your videos,
And I
they
actually
were
did.
no...
I did way back in the day. I'm not sure what exactly it's called. Two bees, one hive, I think, or something like that. I did a podcast back when I was doing YouTube, and I had the face cam. So.
Yeah, we all
Right.
started out with that no cam thing. Okay.
I'm still in that no cam thing. I'm working on it though. I'm working on it.
I heard you're working on it, man. I know. I mean, you throw a cam up in there once in a while. It's nice that we get you at least with your face on the trap, so everyone can know that beard. But we got a question coming through from Mangus. It's a question for Snip, and this is about your photography. We were talking about this a little bit before the stream. How has your photography taken off since leaving YouTube behind? Is that where you see yourself in a professional facet?
Well, photography is going great. I absolutely love photography, and I am going to be combining them now. So I'm going to be coming back to YouTube with the photography, which I did talk about when I retired from YouTube. I did say that I really did enjoy the community. I do miss all the interactions with, the community that I brought up, the community that you're part of on YouTube, which I've also enjoyed. There is that also on Instagram, but making videos, you get a lot more interactions with people. People care more, I feel like, about videos than pictures. You have more like, nice photo, but you don't have really conversations with people. So I am definitely going to be enjoying, I'm sure, getting back into making videos, but it's going to be photography, tutorial, behind the scenes related. So I am going to be combining the two very soon.
Well, that sounds exciting. That sounds exciting. I have a question. It just came through from Radical Rosh, and I remember last stream we missed his question, or we got to it after he had already left. So let's get to it right now just to make up for that one. It says, his question, how do you see the current state of the game? I mean, a lot of people, and I'm sure Radical Rosh is one of them, respect you as a person that really knew a lot about Clash of Clans. So I assume you're still playing, even though you're not making videos for it. I could be wrong. If I am, let me know. But what do you think about the state of the game right now?
Well, I do play, but I play builder based.
Oh, so does he. That's so funny.
Wow.
I play builder based just
Snip
because
plays
it's,
builder base.
the reason is because one of the big reasons that I legitimately did need to leave Clash was just for the time constraints, and especially now that I kind of photography has taken the place. It is, I mean, you guys both know, making videos, and I was uploading daily, so every single day I put a video out, and making daily videos is a huge time sink.
God, yeah.
And that's not on top of playing enough Clash to get content to put videos out a day. It's just insane. So the fact that I did that for 2 years still blows my mind. When I even try to set up a stream now, I'm like, how did I make a video every single day? I totally lost my train of thought there, but the state of the game.
Yeah.
So I played builder base because I was like, where am I going with this? Because you hop on, you do your 3 attacks, you're done. Like there's no commitment. There's no, like, you chat with some people maybe, but there's no huge thing of planning attacks and stuff. So that is why I play builder base. It's just like because I've always enjoyed gaming. Of course, anyone who plays Clash, probably they're a gamer. So I do enjoy playing a game. So that's my little stress relief. But yeah, the state of builder base, I think, is super spammy at the moment, and the state of the regular game, I've just kind of thought it was comical since they nerfed Inferno Towers. I've been watching. I'm looking at some of the War Whales attacks right now, and even in my UCLA clan, which is where I spend my time when I'm not streaming for Whales. I'm watching Town Hall 11s just get destroyed, and with Queen charges and stuff, and it's comical. I still can't believe that Clash nerfed Inferno Towers, but their aim has to be, I guess, towards the mass versus the hardcore war scene that want it more difficult.
Well, I really wonder what the hardcore war scene percentage is of players. It's got to be, I'd say, under 5% of the whole community for Clash, probably even smaller than that.
Oh, yeah.
You're one of the.
But they did. It is interesting because since CWL came around, they have given the war scene more attention and pushed for it. So it's odd that they at the same time, like they could obviously. I think an easy solution would be to have more options in war. Like you can set up more customization, and then people can have it be harder if they want, instead of just having it be like across the board. They nerf Infernos and it's easier for everyone. So.
You're one of the few people that I've heard say that they don't like the Inferno Nerf, to be honest with you. Which is fine. It's nice to see another side of the fence.
It's nice, I think, for like if you want to just do fun FCs and not be frustrated. Mm-hmm. But I'm a very competitive person, and so it's like handicapping the game defensively and making it like easier, like too easy. I feel like I don't like that aspect of it.
Okay, and that's fair. I mean, you must have. I mean, you're looking over war whales. I mean, they 3-star everything, right, on the first try. I mean, isn't that basically how it goes over there in that clan?
I mean, there's a lot. Obviously, it's not doing quite as well as when I was there, of course. But
of course, I mean, they lost out on 6 stars right there.
They lost out on 6 Town Hall 9 stars, the most important stars in the war. Everyone knows.
That's funny.
But yeah, no. Obviously, people still fail, but compared to, and of course, the game's always going to evolve and change. But compared to what I was used to, I thought like the game was at a pretty good place in season 2. Like that's the time frame I'm going off of, where, you know, it was tricky to clear all the 10s. Now I've been watching these wars, and the 10s all get cleared every single match, and it comes down to Town Hall 11 triples, which can be cool too. But I just think they made Town Hall 10 a little too easy with the Inferno nerf.
Even with the buff that they just gave it a couple of weeks ago too, they buffed it back up a little bit. But you're still seeing that multi-target Inferno get healed through with the spells and the healers. So what's up, Pickles? How you doing? There was another part to that. No, that was it. That was it for that question. Let's get into another one. Let's move on forward here.
Oh, hey, World of Clash is in the chat.
What's up, World of Clash? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream. We got to get you on here too.
Oh yeah.
Would you rather, and this is for all of us, would you rather so now, Snip, I don't know if you've seen the show before, but a lot of random questions will come through also that have nothing to do with Clash, and that's kind of what makes this show fun and more exciting. So this may be one of them. Would you rather a coworker walk in while you're on the toilet, or would you rather a coworker walk in the room as you're complaining about them? Goon, why don't you take that one to start?
I think I'd rather have a coworker walk in on me on the toilet, because more than likely, if I'm at work on the toilet, I'm probably doing war attacks. So let's just have them walk in on me on the toilet. I'd take that one.
How about you, Snip?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go with the toilet situation. I definitely don't feel uncomfortable when I'm on the toilet. You know, you own that. You just look at them in the eyes and go like, "What?" Versus you know, the situation that would follow. No one likes to be talked about behind their back, you know.
True.
Say it to their face, or don't say it at all. So.
Yeah, and I agree with that completely. We all use the toilet, so it's not like they're seeing something they haven't seen before, right?
No, that's not of the list of embarrassing moments. Being walked in on the toilet, I think, is way overhyped for how embarrassing. It's not really that embarrassing.
Yeah, for the amount of things that could actually happen potentially. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Mangus, for that question. And we're going to move on to Orion for Snip. Many Clashers listen right now are interested in the join. This is tough to read. Are interested in joining a competitive war team. Please talk a little bit about the level of player commitment needed. That's actually a fantastic question. It's from Orion. So what they're asking is, and I have a lot of people that watch my videos, they want to come to the Circle of Clans, to a CWL clan. And this is a great opportunity to talk about the level of commitment and what you need to be like as a player to fit into that role. So if someone were to come to War Whales or Goon, if someone were to come to one of our CWL clans in the circle, what kind of person do they need to be? You know, what should they be like as a clasher to fit that role?
I think as far as to fit that role, they got to be dedicated. I mean, there's a lot that goes into to league play. I mean, there's a lot of planning. Obviously, you got to be prepared to spend a lot of time base building. If you can't base build, then obviously you got to coordinate with some builders on your team and get that done for each war. Test it before the war. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot of stuff, man. You know, that's the kind. It's not like regular spins. I mean, you know, it's the next level. It's next level.
Agreed. It is. Snip, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I talked about before, was exactly that. I guess even more than just casual play, is when I was talking about like you really need, it's a time commitment to be in a hardcore war clan because they take it seriously. And I guess the best way to equate it is just kind of like being on a sports team. You have to be, supportive of the guys. You have to have a good attitude. You have to help out the team because it's a team sport. Obviously, it's not an individual sport. So like you talked about, you don't just log on, do your attacks and dip out. When you're in a hardcore war clan and things like the CWL are happening, the whole week is preparing. Like, you guys already mentioned the base building. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes, even before the war day. So you just have to be prepared to be quite committed. And I don't know if you've ever played any team sports, but that's how I look at it. Like, you got to be a good team member, not just there for yourself.
Good point. I agree completely. And a lot of it is that base building. I mean, to build a brand new base every week that's not just a base you throw together, but one that's been tested and is going to be solid for a league war every week. That is a ton of time. I mean, I don't know. I don't love building bases. It's difficult. And you can't just throw something together and hope that it works that week. You have to have it proven out. So that's going to be probably the most time consuming on top of practicing your attack so you could actually gain some stars. We have an attack coming from Twitter. I'm actually going to look at them on my phone since I messed up how they throw up on the overlay right here. It's from It's Your Boy Pac. And this is kind of playing off that last question. Why are you so boss as a photographer and at Clash, Snip? So why are you so good? So I guess we could say, what made you so successful as a Clash of Clans player on the competitive scene? Why were you good?
I probably easy same answer at both would just be that I'm awesome. But no, obviously not. The obvious, that's the objective truth that we already covered at the beginning. No, the reason probably would actually is the same answer for both, and they would have to just be that I'm super competitive and dedicated, I guess. Mm-hmm. So whatever it is, something that I get really into, which Clash of Clans and YouTube, I got super interested in it. I really go crazy in terms of like how much time and dedication I put into it. And so when I decided to get into photography, I've been shooting for a year now. I started last March. I picked up the camera, and that's when I left YouTube. It's crazy. It's been a year already.
That is crazy. Wow.
I pretty much approached it the same way. So like I just, in my free time, I'll spend hours of time watching YouTube videos, learning, practicing. It's again, like what we were talking about before the call, all that stuff that goes in behind the scenes that people don't see. You guys were talking about, you like the process videos. Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's exactly that in motion. Like you see a picture, you don't see how many videos and hours were spent for that picture to come up or that video, that attack, whatever it is. So I treat pretty much anything I get into in life like that. So for an easy answer, that would be it. Just a lot of work goes into it.
So you're saying it's a personality thing. I mean, I'm kind of the similar. If I dedicate myself to something, I'm going to give it everything that I have to do that something. That's how I am with YouTube and, with a couple other things in my life. So you're basically saying if you're going to be doing it, you're going to be doing it right.
I think for me, it's probably the competitiveness. I'm just really competitive. It's like not really by choice. So it's like kind of like a, whatever personality, genetic, whatever you want to say. When I play board games and stuff, even with friends, it's hard for me to just play it as a side thing and not care. I want to win still. Like I think it's definitely a personality trait because I definitely don't choose to. And a lot of people don't have that. You see that people can just, do things for fun and not care. But for me, since I was a kid, I've been pretty competitive. So it just leaks its way into, Clash, YouTube, photography, whatever it is. I just am competitive for some reason.
So you're that guy that throws the Monopoly board when you lose?
I don't throw. I'll just sulk in the corner. No, no, I'm not a bad sport. That's definitely a big thing. I think that's important, especially if you're competitive, is you have to be a good sport. Nobody likes the person who throws the Monopoly board.
No.
You gotta take losing gracefully, and so maybe.
By the way,
Skip,
I want to say this. In one of the clans I covered, I seen an attack the other day, and I thought about you. It was I think it had like 25 wall breakers in a queen charge attack. And I think yours had 27 or something like that.
Oh no, we did 62.
Oh my God, I hadn't seen that one.
The
I
wall
seen
breaker walk was 62.
Oh yeah, I hadn't seen that one, but I remember seeing
haven't
one with
either.
like 30 or 20. Anyway, and I remember watching it and I was like, oh my God, this is insane. And then I seen one in a clan recently that I cover. Unfortunately, the base was not quite max defense. I didn't record it, but immediately, snip. Boom.
Well, yeah, that's the kind of legacy I hope I left, is that people think of me with like minions and wall breakers. That's a great legacy. I'm happy with that.
At least
Right.
you remembered, Snip, right? Many
But,
people can't say that.
Oh,
We got
Oh.
Lady B coming through with a question. Actually, it's just kind of a joke. She says, please ask Snip to wear his hair in a man bun. But looking at your haircut, it doesn't look like you could do a man bun. Even if it's a fake one, so I guess she wanted to do some add-ons there. Actually, could the three of
she
you?
wanted all of us to wear a man
Yeah.
bun, though, if
Yeah,
I
I
remember
guess so.
correctly.
I can't do that. I don't know that I would. I don't know. I'm not the big man bun kind of guy. She seems to like
Not a
man
beard
buns
bun.
and beards.
I
Well,
do a
Derek
beard
has
bun.
the beard. Yeah, that's another dedication thing. I actually did grow out my hair and do the top knot. For anyone that that thinks that's just a joke, I did have a top knot. It was playing into the Samurai Snip theme, and I took a picture. That was my Twitter profile for a while.
Yeah, I
so
think I saw that.
That's
That's fun.
that took like a year of hair growth to do that. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
We got another question coming from Flashback, who's in the chat right now. How you doing, Flashback? And she says, "Happy Springtrap Day, everyone." And her question for all three of us is: if someone gave you an expense-paid trip to a historic site around the world, where would you go, and why would you? And what would you wear in your selfies? A historical place, huh? I'm not big into history. I'd rather go on the beach somewhere.
Historical.
Anywhere in the world historical. I'd probably like to go to some ancient ruins somewhere. I don't have any specific ones, but or something like that, or maybe even like some pyramids or stuff like that over in Egypt. That would be pretty cool to see that stuff, to kind of see how it is, if it's like things that were created in the early days. And I would obviously be wearing a G Fuel shirt to represent. That's what I would have to be wearing in the pictures. That's my answer. You guys are up. We got to give some hype to Brian right now in the chat. Thank you so much for the donation, brother.
super chat.
Super chat.
It's all you, Snip. You next. I'm thinking, man.
Yes,
That's-
you next.
Just off the top of my head, I guess that's a tough one, but I think Machu Picchu, that like epic. I don't know. It's like a super famous. They have the like cliffs, kind of looks like Hawaii with that feel of like jungle. And for me now, everything vacations kind of revolve around photography. It's really funny how that happened. Now I'm always thinking about like shooting and like, oh, I want to go shoot there. So Machu Picchu is a really beautiful place. I would love to go take some non-selfie pictures, take pictures of other people, but they would be wearing, what would they be wearing? That's such a strange addition to the question. What would you be wearing?
Yeah.
Probably just probably a tank top and shorts because it'd be really hot there. I don't know. It's a terrible answer, but
I think for me, I'd like to go to like France and visit some of the World War II battlegrounds, like even the Maginot Line or something like that. Some old fortifications or something. I think that would be cool. And as far as a selfie, man, I think I'd get a really cheesy Hawaiian shirt or something. I think I'd be rocking that, unless I pick up a W Fuel sponsor before now and then.
That would be nice if you can get yourself a W.
Yeah,
sponsor.
yeah. That's what I'm saying, man.
It's necessary. We got a question from Panda, since we talked a little bit more about photography. More photography questions than I expected tonight, but Panda was asking, how do you make an income off of photography? So Snip, you talked about how this is like what you're trying to do. How do you make that into like a career?
Well, it definitely helps to be in a big city. I don't think photography is something necessarily that you can do everywhere as much, because it's a very dependent on industry. So pretty much what I've been doing, I have gotten to the point now where I have been hired several times, thankfully. But the way I do it is I'm a portrait photographer. So people hit me up for portraits and they pay me to do sessions. And then also my focus has been this year. So starting from January, my focus, I did one last year, but that's why I kind of said it depends on where you live. I live in LA. So obviously a big city, lots of stuff going on. But I'm trying to shoot stuff for brands, so lifestyle and product stuff for brands for their marketing and like their social media. All the companies need images to represent their brand, and so that's what I'm aiming. That's what I'm focusing on this year, is to connect with brands. So I'm shooting a lot of more lifestyle stuff and product stuff, and basically the way I do it is I do a lot for free, and then I reach out to companies and try to go from there, get them to notice you and like your imagery, and then want to work with you. So that's the way I'm doing it.
Good tips. It's still about putting in that grind to start doing stuff for free, making yourself known a little bit.
That is, I spent all last year pretty much. Oh, hype for the super chat. Sorry.
Yep, that's okay. Yeah. That's fine. Thank you.
No, I spent all last year pretty much the same way tackling like YouTube. I figured I needed content first, so I just put a ton of work into building up a portfolio, and then from there, once you have something to actually show, you can focus on marketing yourself.
Yeah, good pointers right there. Right. Also, what's up, Clashing FFS? Thanks for coming down to the show. Yep.
Hey, Rigoletto's in the audience as well. Welcome, Rigoletto.
Rigoletto, I didn't see Rigoletto.
Somebody said
what's up, Rigoletto? How you doing, man? All right, let's get back to some questions that we have here from Discord. Do you think that Supercell is right by nerfing the Queen Walks? That one's coming from Sabine, but did they nerf the Queen Walk? I didn't know that they. I don't think they did.
I know there's some kind of screenshot going around, and I'm not so sure that thing's legit, man. I would question legitimacy on that. You know what I mean?
From what I know, Supercell, they don't want those spammy attacks. At least that's what we hear. So it would make you think that they like those multi-phase attacks, and what better way to start out an attack than using, a Queen Walk or something like that? I mean, it's all about stage one of multi. So we got a nice attack showing right here. This attack is Poppy's hit right now from the Divine Justice.
Poppy! Oh, let's go, Poppy.
Let's go, Poppy. All right, let's get to the next question. What kind of music do you... Oh, no, actually, I have one that came through in the super chat, and I forgot about it. I'm sorry. It's from Brian, and I thought I had it on here, but I don't. Let me scroll up and find it. It's going to be green. He asks us, what's our favorite hobby other than gaming?
Oh, that's easy for me, but I'll let y'all go.
Oh, you could start it out.
I do like, well, two hobbies actually, but I do a lot of first-person shooters on PS4. I play a lot of that. Of course, everybody's playing Fortnite. I play Fortnite, Star Wars, Call of Duty. But the other passion that I love to do is shoot guns. I love to shoot recreationally. Of course, I'm not a big hunter, although I do, enjoy venison or whatever, deer or whatever occasionally, but I'm not a big hunter there. But those are two things that I really enjoy doing, and that's why when I just want to chill out, one or the other, depending on which way I want to release some steam, that's what I do. Those are two things.
Snip?
I have been shooting once. That is actually quite fun. LA, it's obviously not a big thing. Everyone's very anti-gun out here. Yeah. But right. I had a good friend who brought me to a range, and I had a great time shooting. So that's not a hobby, but I just wanted to tail in on clerics. But for me, obviously, photography is obviously my main hobby, which is now thankfully turning into something more than just a hobby. But other than that, I haven't played Fortnite yet. I've seen. I was dying laughing. I still watch PewDiePie. I don't know who watches PewDiePie. I think he's hilarious. He played Fortnite for a cool minute, and it looked like the most fun game ever. But I still haven't gotten around to just like a computer download. Right? It is free, or you have to buy it.
Yeah. You could also get it on mobile now too. I wish I would have known. I just gave away like 4 codes yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I have seen people play Fortnite, and that looks like absolutely a blast. Like that looks like a really fun game.
It's fun, man. The complication of the build, if you know how to build, and obviously as a PC player, you'd have an advantage because building is a lot easier, I'm told. But that part of it makes it different. And, you got PUBG and games like that are very similar, battle royale style, but there's no building in those games, And this game, man, you can build towers. Dude, it's all imagination,
Mm-hmm.
Come up with, and it's cool, man. They set traps in these towers, and I don't know. I find it fascinating. I watch a guy named Dr. Disrespect and some guy named Ninja. And
Ninja's a beast. Guys,
Yeah, and some guy. There's one other guy that I watch. I don't know. Anyway, his name starts with an S. I can't remember his name, but he's pretty cool too. But those guys are all like pretty solid at those games and pretty amazing to watch.
The building is the downfall of that game for me. I don't like the building aspect of it, and that's why. I mean, I like playing mobile, although I could play on my PC too. I prefer to play on my phone just because of the availability of me to hop on and play. So when these Battle Royale games came to mobile, I got really excited about it, and I started jumping in. But that's why I play Rules of Survival, because it doesn't have that building element, and I just prefer to not build while I'm playing a shooter. It's just... I mean, it's fun in its own way. It's definitely different, which is probably why that game is going to stand out a little bit more than all others. But personally, I prefer just shooting people, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like the strategic aspect of it. It's just like there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. So it gives a variety. Anything that gives a variety and gives you more options, those are the kind of games I like.
Yeah. And the building is easier on PC because you could program your gaming mouse to just a click of a button, it'll start building something that you can't do that on console and stuff like that. We got a question coming through asking what kind of music we listen to. I think we had this question before. I'll start out. My main type of music is hardcore or metal. I like pretty heavy stuff, but I listen to a whole lot of everything. A lot of electronic music, EDM. And even some rap, R&B. But for the most part, I'm into metal. How about you, Snip?
For me, it's completely mood. I feel like music is such a mood thing. So, it depends on the mood. At the gym, I listen to EDM. I actually, fun fact, Snip Alumni, which was my in-game name, actually was my DJ name. That's where that name comes from. That was my DJ name in college. While I was in college, I was DJing and a little production, but I didn't get too heavy into the production. And so that's where, when I had to make my Clash name, I just went with my DJ name, Snip Alumni. So so I do listen to EDM at the gym, and then I like a lot of chill stuff. I like lately I've been listening to like Griffin and Illenium. And then, I don't know. I do like chill stuff. I don't know the artist names. It's hard to remember artist names these days because you don't get like, back in the day, you get like a CD, you know the artist. Nowadays, you get like one or two tracks. It's hard to remember all the names. So
I don't know any of the names for EDM stuff and electronic music at all. Just all.
I kind of like, for me, it's I like a lot of rap, but I like older rap over the newer stuff. Like some of the newer stuff. But I also like EDM, definitely. My videos obviously play the stuff that's free, but I think Skrillex and some of those, I'm trying to remember some of the other artists, but Skrillex has been around for a while. And a guy named Butch Clancy, like in the early days of dubstep, whatever. I mean, they call it EDM now, but it was called dubstep then. I think those guys were innovators, and I definitely like the EDM style music because of them. And rap is just, I like rap because it's good. The older stuff, especially the newer stuff. Straight out of Compton. Exactly. Clash and FFS. Yes, exactly.
One could say that objectively, the newer stuff is worse.
I don't care for the newer stuff.
Probably. Some I like. I mean, like 50 Cent, some of the artists that are not quite new, but not old.
He's pretty old now, man.
Maybe so.
That's like when I was a kid, everyone was always all up about In the Club and
Yep.
What's the other one? It was like him and Sean Paul. I grew up in Italy, and him and Sean Paul, like every single time you go out, you're gonna hear In the Club 3 times at least. Like at least 3 times. Italians just love 50 Cent.
It's a great song, man. It's a great song for sure. I still listen to that song, man. It's on my phone right now. That song's bomb.
It comes in hard. Bum, bum.
Oh, that's right. That's right, man. Body Count. Yeah, I remember Body Count, dude. That's a little rocky, though. That was Ice-T, I believe. Ice-T. He did, like, rock music. Yeah.
I was more into DMX as one of the old school rap people.
DMX.
I like DMX. Yeah.
You're going to make me lose my mind. Yeah. We know DMX.
You sound just like him, Goon.
I don't know about that. I ain't drank enough yet.
We got a question coming from Oregon again. It says, seems like the single Inferno nerf and the multi buff didn't change much. This is the buff. This is the update after the update. What are your thoughts? What feedback are you hearing from others? And I'll have to say I agree. I haven't seen much of a change at all. For those of you that don't know, the multi-target Inferno got a the single target Inferno got a nerf, so it takes an extra second to heat up to full. And the multi-target Inferno got a buff. Don't really know what that buff was though, because like I said earlier, you could still heal spell or you can queen walk right through it with those healers. So, did you guys see any change in that? I personally have seen absolutely no difference in anything. So.
I did a video on it, and to me, there's a slight difference, obviously, in the nerf to the singles on before the Inferno gets to full power. I think slightly your kill squad would be able to go in deeper than it could prior to the update. But the multi-target, man, nobody's using them, man. I literally can't get anything. I can't get anything. I'm searching for it, dude. I'm searching for it. I've got videos before, and I'm just waiting for somebody to start trying to use them defensively. But nobody see right there. Clash and FFS says multi IT rip AF. I mean, everybody knows it. So apparently, the buff wasn't enough for multi-target Infernos.
No, because the whole point of the Inferno was that you couldn't heal. Like that's why I found it so funny that they nerfed it, because it wasn't like, oh, we nerfed the power. Like, you nerfed the essence of the Inferno. Like, that's what changed from Town Hall 9 to Town Hall 10, is now you have this defense that you can't heal through. And, you saw that how big of a nerf it was and what a change it was, because the moment they did that, every single person, like Cleric just said, every person started using singles. You never see a multi now.
Yep.
And so that just right there shows you, if you do an update and every single person changes their base, that's a little bit of an intense update. And so it doesn't matter how much you buff multis. If you can heal through them, it doesn't matter. And the single nerf, though, like Cleric just said, that does matter and for me, I noticed it with queen charges, because I still do. That's the one thing I will play, is I'll do friendly challenges, because now that Town Hall 10 isn't super frustrating, because you can just you can triple a base first try without thinking too much about like how do I work around the Infernos. I use Queen Ho, and you can triple pretty much any base with that. So when you're queen charging a single Inferno, 1 second is huge, because the biggest thing I noticed before was that almost every time she died, she would die by like one hit. So an extra second is a game changer for that, making it even easier, which I don't think is necessary.
Yeah, I agree. But do you think, this is something we've talked about before, don't you think that this nerf is kind of preparing for Town Hall 12? Or no?
I have no idea. Preparing for Town Hall 12 in what way?
Goon, you want to explain your thought on that?
I thought of it as this. Basically, by making 10 easier, you're enticing the 9s to move up to 10. Because now, as a content creator, me and Echo both will tell you that we're seeing a lot of Town Hall 9 hits on 10s. Like literally, Town Hall 9 strategies moved over to 10. We never seen.
That's the first thing I did was I don't touch my Town Hall 9 anymore, because the main thing about Town Hall 10, that's what I just mentioned about the friendly challenges, was you couldn't just we always just call it YOLOing attacks. You can't just kind of go in there with the 30-second scout and just kind of, go through it as you go on your feet, because Town Hall 10 with the Infernos, you had to plan around the Infernos. But since Infernos no longer have to be necessarily like planned around, it made Town Hall 10 for me now friendly challenges. I enjoy those like I used to enjoy Town Hall 9s. So I can see that for sure, because of all the years I played Clash, none of their updates made me want to stop playing Town Hall 9, but now I don't play Town Hall 9 anymore. So
there you go.
It may have been a strategic move there. It makes sense. You just said it pretty well, actually. Orion also has a question here. Bo Witch and Lalo tend to dominate many Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 attacks right now. Do we see a major troop nerf meta shift coming soon? And speaking of that, I know Powerbang just put out a video yesterday talking about what he's going to be doing with his channel. I actually always like watching those videos to see what other YouTubers are thinking in their heads. And he talked about how they have not brought a brand new troop, a regular troop, to Clash of Clans in 2 years. Yeah, it was actually like to the day or something. Now, we have had a couple of special event troops come through, which is fun.
The bowler.
What's that?
The bowler, right? That's
Well,
the last.
I think that was the last one. Yeah, and that was 2 years ago. So, I mean, I would assume that if Town Hall 12 is coming, there's going to be another troop. I would hope. It has to be. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be, but you would hope. But
there has to be, realistically, from a like player standpoint, disappointment that you bring a new town hall and don't bring a new troop. That's pretty that's pretty bad.
It can't just be a new building with a couple more archer towers, you know?
No.
I mean, we know that's going to happen. I mean, Darian pretty much spelled that out in that episode. There's going to be some new troops. Now, Snip, were you able to catch that episode where Darian kind of tantalized us with a lot of clues and hints to the future of Clash?
I did not.
You did not. It was good, man. I mean, he's talking about, like, they're looking at bringing a lot of things that we've suggested over time, from the Reddit communities, the forums. There's definitely some things that are going to come in this game that we've always wanted as Clashers. So I think the next 4.5 years or so, we're going to see a lot of changes to the game.
4.5 years?
Yeah, well, it's a 10-year span, right? I mean, that's what they're looking at.
Cool. And World of Clash actually just made a good point, and this is something that I've said many times. I've said it on many episodes and even in my videos. He said in that episode that we had with Darian, he never did say Town Hall 12. It's like he specifically didn't say Town Hall 12. So there is, from what I've heard and read, there's never been confirmation from Supercell that Town Hall 12 is coming to the game. I believe in our episode when we had that interview with him, he actually said major changes to Town Hall, and the game is going to be played in a different way. So he didn't really say Town Hall 12 is coming. We could all anticipate it coming because it's been that much time, and we expect it to come, but it's never been actually said. So not confirmed, I guess.
Well, it seems like most of their focus has been on builder base. Since they dropped builder base, they kind of shifted their, like, it almost, the Inferno Nerf, besides being a strategic play at pushing Town Hall 9 people, it almost can feel like or any updates they make to the main base now is kind of like they're over here doing builder base, and then they go like, oh, the main base, Nerf Infernos, and then they go back to the builder base, kind of,
Yeah, I think that they made a commitment to bringing a new aspect to the game, which was builder base. And, when you make that kind of commitment, like...
I do like clan games. I do like that update.
I like that too. It's cool.
As silly as it is, I just like the aspect of bringing the clan together, because I always said that was the reason I enjoyed Clash of Clans the most, and that's what kept me the longest, was because I grew up playing sports. Like, I'm an athlete, like that was my always athletic, and I just loved the feeling of a team versus, like, you never really got that in any games. Growing up, you're playing games, maybe you play online against other people, but you never really had a game where it was like really a team of people. So I really loved that about Clash, and that's why I got so into it. So I do like the clan games, because they kind of bring, people are in the chat talking more and saying like, oh, we're doing this, and I do like that. That's one update I like.
I like it too, and it's a good way of implementing some of the new features, the new books and the new what are they called, potions and stuff like that. It's a nice way of people being able to get them as well, so works out well. And thanks for the little donations coming through. I appreciate you guys being awesome, and let's get to some of those questions really quickly that came through with those donations. The first one, when we bring Clash Bashing on the show, Clash Bashing was on the Spring Trap in one of our early episodes. I can tell you that when there's a couple of dates when Goon is unable to attend the show because of work commitments, so Clash Bashing is most likely going to be my next co-host when Goon can't take place or can't be here. So he will be back on the show in the form of a host by my side. And Spooby asked a question.
Sorry, that'll be two weeks from now, I think. Not next weekend, but the following. I'll have to work nights, so we're gonna hope that Bash is available.
But that's a holiday weekend, man. That's Easter weekend, so things may be messed up anyway. We'll have to see as time comes, but we'll figure it out. And Spooby asks us, what animal would you incorporate from Heyday to Clash of Clans. I've never played or seen anything about Heyday. I may be one of the only people. I know that Duke is a big advocate of Heyday, possibly thinking of converting his Clash of Clans channel over to a Heyday channel.
Absolutely legit.
That's not true at all, actually. But he does play Heyday. You guys ever play Heyday? I never have.
I've never played Heyday.
Afraid not. I think my wife has, though.
Yeah, I don't know. So, sorry. Oh, you are so right there, Duke. And Goon, you could probably... He says, Snip looks like a young Negan. If you don't know who Negan is, if he's from The Walking Dead. He's the guy that carries the bat. And he really does look like a young Negan. Have you ever seen that, Snip?
Man, that's my favorite show, dude.
I haven't actually. I haven't watched that. I've seen a couple episodes just by them being on at a friend's place, but I haven't watched it.
Well, we'll get you a picture of that later on. Let's get into another question and roll through these. This is a riddle for the three of you. It's from Solid. A man is in his car. He sees 3 doors, a gold one, a bronze door, and a silver door. Which one does he go out first? Now, the problem is there's no answer to this riddle. A man is in his car. He sees 3 doors, a gold one. Well, if he's in his car, he can't go through the doors, right? Unless they're car doors.
He just sees 3 doors outside of his car?
It says, a man is in his car. He sees 3 doors, a gold one, a bronze door, and a silver door. Which one does he go out first? His car door, he goes out first. That's the answer, right?
Genius.
That's right. Genius.
Yeah.
There's the riddle.
All right, I'm coming over to 3 strikes right now. Oh, I can't. We'll find somewhere to go. Let's get to another question as I figure out where I'm going to get replays from. Do you guys plan on playing some MOBA games like Mobile Legends on YouTube? I was playing Arena of Valor a little bit. I liked it a little bit. I'm done playing it now for a while. So, you guys, any MOBAs?
I started playing. Well, there's 2. Obviously, I started playing Clash Royale because of BBXH, and I'm having fun with it. I'm staying low key on it, but Rules of Survival. Actually, I started playing it a couple of days ago, and it's pretty sick, man. It's a sick little game. I like it.
I like it a lot too. It's a lot of fun. It's not a MOBA though.
I thought you said mobile.
I heard mobile too.
Oh,
yeah,
MOBA.
bad.
Sorry.
But I was going to have to disagree with you guys about CR. I am not a fan of CR.
Really? That's funny.
I tried to get into it, and I came this close to even making some CR videos, and then I hit a point where I just felt like it was really pay-to-play push, and like it was really set up to where the way they balance, like you play people with better decks than you, and you just like it's just so much dependent on the deck. Like unless you're both maxed, it's pretty much like you beat people that are lower level than you, and you lose to people that are high level to you. So I felt like it really wasn't people on the kind of competition I like is people on an even playing field, and your skill has to be the determinant, not you're playing a person that has worse cards than you, so they can't beat you unless you really suck. Kind of. That was the feeling I got from it.
I mean, you
I
can
see
build decks that there are free to play decks. Decks that you could play that you could really build up and make nice as a free to play player that don't really require legendary cards and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to be on the top of the game, you probably have to sink a few bucks into it. Yeah. So, what's our favorite beer? Iceman wants to know.
For me, it's for favorite or what I drink most of the time when I drink beer. I just say Bud Light, man. I just I don't go into the whole IPA stuff or the fancy stuff. I just get a case of Bud Light, stick it in the fridge, and when I need one, I grab it.
What is that? Torpedo? I just grabbed randomly. I was like, I'm gonna be on this podcast tonight. Let me grab a beer to drink. And I used to not like IPAs, but it's really funny. My buddy and I were just talking about IPAs because he still doesn't like them, and now it's grown on me. And so I feel like IPAs, at least in my experience, were like it's like the second tier of beer. Because like me, I hated beer when I was in college. I actually refused. It's really funny. We used to like when we would play beer pong, I would put shots because I just refused to drink beer. I hated it that
Oh boy.
much.
Yeah.
So I feel like, which of course always worked out super great for me.
Yeah, I bet it did.
But I felt like then finally I got accustomed to the taste of beer and I liked it. But then IPAs were gross, and now I'm finally to the point of where I've drank enough of them because two of my friends really like them, and so they always push them on me when we would go out and stuff. And now I feel like IPAs are like at second tier that you have to like acquire the taste again after you already acquired the beer taste. So, but I haven't been enjoying IPAs now, but it took a while.
Yeah, I like. I'm not a big beer drinker. Like Duke says, I'm a G Fuel drinker for the most part. If you know this stream or my videos, that's what I'm always drinking. But when I do drink beer, it's either going to be a Bud Light or Corona. I like Corona Light out of a can over in California. It's the only place I've ever found Corona. Actually, not Corona Light, Corona out of a can. It's good over in California. Had it on the beach once. And I like Guinness. So, but really, I'll drink any beer if I'm drinking, but it's not often. Pickles had a question. If Snip could make a new sexy female troop, what would she do? And what would she look like?
What would she do? That is a tough question. What would she do and what would she look like? I gotta say, I do like the Valkyrie, which, you know, that's pretty much feels like a RIP troop to me. I don't think I've seen a Valkyrie in any attack in quite a long time. That used to be one of my favorite attacks back in the day. Was the Blue Veeler, was the healed up Valkyrie attack. See, that's how old I am. I was playing when Valkyries were a meta troop. That's a really tough question.
Do you have any that you want to talk about while he thinks about his? Anything in mind?
Well, I was just going to say the Blue Veeler's still around, by the way, Snip, but they just added bowlers to it. I mean, it does change the attack a little bit, obviously.
The Blue Bow Veeler. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's oh my God, dude! Holy smokes! Donation hype. I got to stop what I'm saying because wow.
I don't even know what that currency is, to be honest with you, but thank you very much, man.
It could be like 50 cents. You never knew.
I know. That actually got me once on one of my streams. I saw the big number, but not what was in front of it. But either way, thank you very much.
Any donation is a generous donation.
That's right.
Donations aren't, they're not necessary, so they're appreciated.
We could go with, I could just go with a sexist joke if we wanted to.
You can go with that.
Oh, man, no, I really don't. I was trying to think of what's an underutilized thing in Clash. I would probably have her do something like the healer. I like that role that the healer has of
support role.
Yeah, a support role for a main troop. And that probably does fall into the sexist category, but I don't mean it to be.
But some of the most dominant troops in the game are the female troops, the P.E.K.K.A. and the Valkyrie.
Oh yeah,
the Queen is my favorite troop.
Well, of course, she's the most valuable troop in the game. Although people would argue that she's not a troop, that she's a hero. But what is the strongest troop? Is it the P.E.K.K.A.? With a one shot, I think the P.E.K.K.A. has the most DPS. Correct? I hope so because I said it in a video today without researching it.
I think so, man. Actually, the P.E.K.K.A. is pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
Not talking about heroes, obviously, but yeah, the P.E.K.K.A. is pretty solid.
The P.E.K.K.A. is stronger than the King. A max P.E.K.K.A. has a lot more DPS than one strike from a max King.
It's just slower, yeah. It's so slow.
It's slow.
Yeah, I would probably. I always like the troops that do something very unique. So like I like the Valks. They updated that they go in between buildings, stuff like that, where you can plan your attack more specifically to do something very specific with a specific troop. That's the kind of stuff I always liked.
Okay. Turns out, guys, I'm out of all my questions from Discord and Twitter, which means it's your guys' time to start throwing some questions in the chat. Anything that you want us to talk about before we just go off on Tandem and talk about whatever it is we want. I do have one question that came through earlier from Time to Clash that I will use right now until you guys start sending some questions through. And that is, and unfortunately, he's probably not in the chat anymore, which stinks. But if you get the time to ask my question, it's this. Murder is wrong. We all agree. But should all murderers against somebody with a man bun be pardoned and forgiven? Oh, your clan.
Well, we're gonna get seriously moral for a second, and then Take a light turn.
And well, this is the great thing, man. As the host of this show, I could turn any question into whatever I want it to be. So let's turn that question into: is murder ever okay? And if so, when would it be okay to commit murder? I know Goon will have a serious answer for that.
Well, I mean, are we talking about like a revenge type thing, or are we
murder is taking someone's life, man. So is taking someone's life
the first thing
okay?
the first thing you had to do is define it, because murder in the definition I think is more killing without. It's like not self-defense. Is in the definition of murder. So
is it really? So if someone is attacking my child and I'm self-defending and I kill that person, that's not considered murder?
No. That's why they have manslaughter and all those different terms for court, because it's not the same thing. So like first degree murder means like premeditated, and then murder in general means like involuntary manslaughter is like a completely different thing as murder. So it's very like the definition changes the whole equation.
Okay, good point. All right, so then is murder, like legit murder, ever okay? So now, Snip, my question. What's that?
I'd have to say no. I'd have to say no to that. I mean, if you're talking about the definition of murder, but you know, my thing is you'll see sometimes in cases where parents revenge like a child's death or something like that. Obviously, the jury's not gonna go hard on them or things like that. But I wouldn't say it's okay. But you got to live with it. You know, it's a pretty serious subject there for sure.
So my question is, if I know that someone is coming after me, they haven't physically or in any way like approached me in a way that is going to endanger my family, but if I knew that something was coming and I took the first step and did it before they had the chance to, would that be considered murder, Snip?
I mean, definitionally, I'm not sure, but you're saying you have like for
Inside
sure
information.
intel. You have like information that for sure someone is going to murder you.
Someone's coming at me in a vicious way. I know it before, or not merely me. I'm more talking like towards my family, because once you have kids, you become like a protective bear. It's crazy. But like if I knew that this was happening, and I took the first strike and was victorious in that strike, is that murder?
I don't know. That's a tough question, because it falls into kind of like thought policing. Like if you know, like, is it okay if I think this person's going to do something? Because obviously if they haven't done it, they haven't done it. For me personally, my principle is like, I'm an NAP person, so non-aggression principle person. So I believe that you don't get to aggress first. So that's like an interesting kind of line where you're like, if they haven't aggressed but they said it, like if someone says I'm going to punch you, then is it okay to punch them? Like, I don't know. That's a tough like right on the line of they haven't actually like hit you, but they said they're going to hit you. So I don't know. That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. That's why these
I
questions
guess it would
fun.
depend on how I guess how credible the intel is. Like if you intercepted a text that said like I'm gonna go over and kill his family, like that probably does. I maybe wouldn't say murder then is the right option. I would maybe say to do something else to you know, like you could of course call the police and get them to, you know, arrest the person rather than murder. I think would probably be the go-to.
Okay.
Because murder is pretty undoable.
Oh well, yeah, it's about 100% undoable.
Yeah. They made a movie. They made a movie about future stuff. What with Tom Cruise in it? I can't remember.
Minority Report.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie. You know, and that was premeditated stuff. You know, it was pretty cool, futuristic movie. But anyway,
which is really crazy. I just read an article that was talking about that specific movie, because they said, I forget where it is, but somewhere is already moving towards that. I forget again where the location is, but some police force is using algorithms and analytics to spy on criminals based on like past behavior, and then they're using that to like go to their house and knock on the door and say like, we think you're going to do something because of this and this and this. So it's kind of falling into that like pre-crime stuff, and they will actually go to people's houses and knock on their door that haven't done anything based on these computers finding algorithms that they're saying like correlate with future crime. So we're getting there. It's crazy.
It's cool. And as we're talking about this, Flashback is saying, too serious, let's talk about farts instead. And Pickles enjoys.
Oh, nice.
See what people from the Clash community are all about. They don't want to talk about this. It's about farts. First of all, we had a donation come through from Taco, and he says anti-3-star bases or anti-2-star bases. I don't know that there is such thing as an anti-2-star base. I think, was Taco looking? He may have been the one asking about Town Hall 9 anti-3 bases.
I think the anti-2-star is more, he's referring to kind of more of an NDL style base, or more back in the day, we referred to them that kind of the centralized or centralized town hall, stuff like that, trying to protect it. Anti-3 just gives it to you. They just throw it out there and try to mess the funnel up or something like that. I think that's where he's going with that.
Okay. So what do you think?
Which one?
The town hall level, yeah.
It depends on the town hall level for sure. I mean, obviously at Town Hall 9, it's anti-3. And it depends on what league you're in. I mean,
true.
Would you, if you're at Town Hall 11, would you want to give up a 2-star in CWL because you're going to get hit by 10? So you might want to, throw your Town Hall, centralize it, and make them work for that 2-star with a 10. On Town Hall 10s, though, you're trying to protect the 3-star in any league from a dip or from a 10. So anti-3 with 10s.
Okay.
I got to go with anti-2 because everyone knows that 2-stars win wars, and you got to protect that too.
Molt math, baby.
Simple answer. Next question.
There you go.
Next question is... We got a couple in the chat here. Educational background. I know that I talked about it, and so did Goon in another episode, so I'm not going to do that again. But Snip, what's your education all about?
Business management. And that's what I do now as my day job is I manage events. So big conventions and stuff, like trade shows and stuff like that, we provide staff, and then we run the events.
Cool.
And then, of course, I mean, nowadays, though, I think education is... more of like a spectrum, I guess you could say, than before, because before, a degree was much more like, this is my skill set. Whereas nowadays, if you want like photography, I just learn myself. I just watch videos and tutorials and stuff like that. So I don't have an education like per se in photography. I have no degree, but definitely nowadays not having a degree in something doesn't mean that you don't have like a exceptional skill set that you can go pursue yourself. So
isn't that funny? I think that's so cool.
I think that's the coolest
thing. Have creativity, man. Creativity is the key.
You just have to go out there and get it. Like when I was a kid, like I had internet when I was in high school, but before that, like I remember on the the dial-up modem and stuff like that. It wasn't like, and even when the internet came out, it wasn't like now where all the information is there. There was no YouTube until like what 2006, 2004, something like that. YouTube came out.
I don't remember.
But regardless, like you had to go look something up in a library. Like it was just the people now, kids now. It's the one thing I'm jealous of is that, like, there's no being bored. Like learn piano, great. There's a million videos to learn piano. You don't have to like go buy piano lessons from a teacher. So, education, I think that the term in general has changed a lot lately.
It's true. It's easier to educate yourself, is what you're trying to get at there, and it's completely true.
Got some donation hype in the chat there,
yes.
Echo.
Thank you so much, guys, for those donos. I appreciate it.
Right on.
So, guys, all you kids out there, go learn something instead of just blowing all your time away.
I agree. All right, I'm looking for more questions. I may have missed a few.
Did you get the one from World of Clash? It was about our screen names. If we could change them, what would they be?
I didn't get that one. Our in-game names?
Yeah, for YouTube. If we could change our YouTube, I think it was if we could change our YouTube, basically our YouTube names. What would we change them to? I know the answer to that right now, dude. Mine would be Fortnite Dragoon. That's it, man. Fortnite Dragoon. Let's go. Let's go.
I actually really do like my name, and I wouldn't change it, but I do. It makes me think of people like everyone's talking about Clash is not what it used to be. It's not as popular. So I wonder, like, people like World of Clash. Like, his name is Clash. If he were to transition to a different game, you know, his name is still going to be World of Clash. I don't think you can change that. I'm not sure. So people in that position may have to worry about it, I guess, at some point in time, right? Like, if someone was Call of Duty, you know, something.
I don't think you got that as much in other games, though, as you did Clash. Like, so many people put Clash in their name, whereas other games I don't think do that as much.
Could be.
Just from what I saw. Obviously, I thought ahead, you know, Snip attacks. You don't know what Snip is attacking. You just know that Snip is attacking something. So.
No, I mean, that's a universal name. It's great.
It works. It works. I'm trying to find those other questions.
I'm horrible at names. Naming... I'm building a photography website right now, and that's like the biggest drawing a blank thing ever is me sitting there trying to think of names for stuff. Like when I was trying to name the channel, or, you know, I went with my DJ name because I couldn't think of another name, like to put it simply. So I'm terrible at naming things, really.
It's just about something that someone will remember. And I mean, my name's probably not the most memorable. Cleric Dragoon, people can't even pronounce. I mean, how often, Goon, do you hear people calling me Cleric Dragoon?
Cleric Dragon?
No, they call me Cleric Dragon, or they call me Celeric, or It just drives me insane.
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
I get it all.
You got merch, though. I like this merch. Where do I buy that hat?
Hey, I got a local dude. Let me find his card, man. He's in here somewhere. Yeah, this is it right here, dude. This dude right here, he is legit.
So travel to North Carolina. And
get go to North Carolina, man. Ditchosaurus. That's it, baby.
I was always so bad at that stuff. I never got Snip merch out there. Like, I just made videos, and I could have done a lot better. That's cool that you have a hat. Like, that's really cool.
Appreciate it.
I have merch. Not many people buy that stuff, though, but it's still cool to have your own stuff. Goon, people are saying that all the time about your hat, man. This means you need to open up a Spreadshirt page. And when people ask about your merch, you have a place to send them, because people seem to like it.
You know what?
Link in bio.
I need to do that. I don't. The thing is, like, I set it up as far as I've paid for the digitization and all that stuff. And like, if somebody wanted to buy a hat, I told the guy at this place, I was like, hey man, if anybody ever calls and wants a Clear Dragoon hat, hook them up, dude. And so, like, you know, that around in our Discord chats and stuff, you know, I'd give his number and stuff out. I guess maybe I need to.
It needs to be easy. It needs to be easy.
Yeah,
if they can't click on it and get it, it's not going to happen.
You're right. I need to get busy on that. Hey, there's another question, Echo, before I forget about it. Cheddar, he says, if Supercell created a new game similar to Fortnite, would you play it? Or would you all play that?
Yes, I would, because I like keeping... I was actually thinking about this as I was showering before the show today, because I have been dabbling in these Battle Royale games. And none of them relate in any way to my channel. My channel is Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. So I could get away with doing some Brawl Stars on my channel because it's at least a Supercell game, or Boom Beach. But, you know, if I wanted to cover one of these new games, it's something completely different. And so if Clash of Clans or if Supercell came out with a game, a Battle Royale game, I would be all over it. Because if I'm playing a game, it's going to be on my channel. It's just how it works. If I'm taking the time to game, I'm going to make a video out of it.
Right.
So yeah,
right.
Yes, I would definitely.
I think I would give it a shot, but I think Supercell dropped the bomb on Brawl Stars by taking so long to release to Droid and letting these games like Fortnite and what's the other one, ROS come in and drop these Rules of Survival come in and drop these games. I think they might have missed a boat, man. I think Brawl Stars came out way ahead of those games, and I think if they would actually marketed it to Android users as well as iOS users, that would have been smart, and there would have been a lot more people invested in that game right now when these other games dropped. And they would have thought, like, it's like when Clash Royale came out, I was highly invested in Clash, and so for me, I was like, do I want to take on another game that's going to cost me some money? As you said, Snip. I mean, I'd already heard that Clash Royale was you know, you had to do some gemming or whatever it is in that game. But So I basically didn't mess with it. I didn't mess with it. And so if Brawl Stars would have been out this whole time for everybody, they might have thought twice before downloading Fortnite Mobile or Rules of Survival, in my opinion. Of course, that don't mean anything, but just my
Maybe. I mean, I played a bit of that game. I traveled up to Canada just so I could download it on some Canada Wi-Fi. The problem is every time it gets an update, you have to make that trip again. And that's a trip for me. So,
Oh man.
yeah. I don't know. I decided not to do that. But we got a question from Spooby. It's for me. Was business management a good decision for your degree? I don't have a business management degree. Is that what you said? Yours wasn't that either. Mine's in education. That was yours. So Snip, was it a good? Since you're not, so you want to pursue something outside of that, do you still think that's a good degree?
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, photography, I'm running as my own business, so it's a very valuable skill to be able to manage your own business.
Good point.
So, because I'm in the transitional phase right now where it's going from a hobby to I'm getting steadily booked and stuff, and so being able to, make sheets and for clients and stuff like that, and it definitely helps.
And something else before I get to Duke, because he has a couple of questions. You learn a lot more in college than just what your degree says. You just become pretty rounded, I think. You learn more than just what your degree is teaching you, in my opinion, when you go to college. So I don't think that even if you don't use your degree, because most people don't actually use their college degree in what they become as a professional or in their career. So
If it's not like a trade, like a degree in like engineering or something like that, where you need the degree.
Agreed.
I learned how to play pool really well and table tennis in college.
Same here. We had a
was
ping pong
really
table in my
nasty.
dorm. It was amazing.
Oh my god, dude, I was crushing. But
Great game.
since college, just hadn't been there.
Do I believe college is worth it? I definitely believe it's worth it. It's not. I mean, like Snip was saying earlier, it's not. You don't have to be a college graduate to be successful or to see success, but I think college is definitely a great experience for everyone to go through and to, have part of their life at some point. So yeah, I say it's worth it. Duke had two questions for us. One was, do you think Supercell is watching all these battle royale games? They're getting so much hype, getting so many. They're kind of taking over gaming. Is Supercell watching that? Do they see?
I would hope so.
Are they worried about it?
I would hope so, man. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, dude, it's insane. Like me and you spoke. Fortnite right now is taking over everything. I mean, Fortnite is insane right now, and it's everywhere. So if they're not,
sorry.
You just have to be. I mean, if they're not looking at that as a game producer, I would like to know what the numbers were on mobile for Fortnite, man. Just out of curiosity, like how many mobile players are there right now in the game?
Well, in that same video that I talked about from Powerbang earlier, he said that Fortnite Mobile is number 1 in the App Store right now, which is crazy.
Oh wow!
Because it's not available
It's
to
not
everyone
even
yet. So I don't know. I don't know. He wasn't
Wow.
sure, and I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but it was something he stated, and I don't think he was just pulling out of his butt. So, I mean, Fortnite is the biggest battle royale game, out there. Maybe not the biggest on mobile right now, but it is the biggest one. But so yes, I do think they're looking. He also asked if we prefer Karate Kid or Back to the Future. For me,
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Snip.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, I got to go with Snip on that one. I like Karate. I mean, it's a hard choice. They're both like classics from the '80s, but Daniel's son.
I like futuristic concept, man. I like that going backwards. I mean, I'm just a sci-fi nut, man. That's all.
Okay. I mean, you can't go wrong. There's no wrong answer to that question.
Yeah.
Does Android have Fortnite available? No, Iceman, it does not. And we have a question from Panda again. What game got us into gaming? I'll answer
Oh,
first.
that's easy, man.
For me, you want to go first? You can go first, Goon.
No, wait a minute. Let's define that question first before we answer. Are we talking about online gaming or are we talking about just gaming in general?
Gaming in general, I guess.
Oh, God. Oh man, I got to go back, way back.
I mean, for me, I got my first system when I was the day that Sega Genesis came out. I bought it and I got Altered Beast. That was the first gaming system I ever had. And then over those years, I probably accumulated, 100 or so games for Sega Genesis. But then I got out of gaming for a long time. I'm talking years and years until
Yeah.
Gears of War came out. And that's what got me back into gaming. Gears of War 1 on Xbox 360. And that got me back into gaming. And that, you all know my gaming history and what wound me up here. But Gears of War brought me into gaming again, followed by Halo, followed by Call of Duty.
For me, as far as gaming is concerned, it started with Atari. For me, Pac-Man, I think Galaga, stuff like that, was what I played. As far as online gaming, a game called, SOCOM. I think it was SOCOM 2 and Killzone 1. Those are the two online games. And Killzone 1, I actually competed, and our clan was number 1 in that. So it was definitely one that I got addicted to. I was addicted to that game, man. When I come home from work, I would shovel food down, and I'd be on the PlayStation 2, and we were, all right, who are we battling tonight, guys? And it was on, man. We were gonna jam. So, yeah.
Phantom said Alex the Kid. I love that game. That was Sega Genesis game, Alex the Kid. Yeah, it was a great one. Snip?
Gosh, that's tough. If thinking back to childhood, like, I don't know, rather than like the first one that I ever played, like, it's kind of harder to remember. The one that got me really into gaming was probably, if I'm thinking back to childhood, the ones I enjoyed the most, probably my top 3 would be either Smash Bros. Got me into gaming like with friends the most, and then single player would have to be Final Fantasy series or Zelda. Were probably the games that I enjoyed the most and spent the most, like what Cleric said. It was the most like get home from school, and then the rest of the night is just that's it. Like, you play 8 hours straight. Your mom has to come into the room and say, like, how long have you been playing the game? Like, yeah. Those were definitely like the Final Fantasy, Zelda, where it was like a role playing game and story mode. Those are the ones I enjoyed the most.
We got
just get lost in those.
Yeah, you do.
And Smash Bros. Smash Bros is probably the game I played the most out of any game, just because of multiplayer with friends. There's no story, there's no beating it, so I probably played the most hours of the combined Smash Bros games, because I just love Smash Bros.
There's a guy named Herbine in the chat. He asked me, do I brush my beard? And guys, I'm going to say no. If you guys have ever heard of leave-in conditioner, I just stick it on my hands. I'll do like this, like rub on my beard, and I'm out. That's it. Like, I try to be as low maintenance on this thing as possible. By the way, I need a trim. I know. I'm going to get that soon. But it didn't happen today. Haircut, didn't have time for that. A beard trim. But anyway, and I don't use wax on it, Pickles. So, okay, next question.
Mario Kart, yes, World of Clash. It was a great game. Snip, what kind of dog is that? It looks like a Jack Russell mix or something.
This is a little Jack Russell. He's been alone in the living room for a little bit, so I just called him in here.
Nice. Cute. See what Snip's trying to do right now is get in with the ladies, show the puppy. So he's going to get hit up in his DMs later. That's how it goes. We got Pickles asking, and I don't even think she's here anymore, unfortunately, but she's asking us, chicken, steak, or vegetarian? Me? Steak. All day.
I like all 3.
Yeah.
Does he mean like, chicken only, or no?
I guess if you had to choose, yeah.
I have a couple filet mignons in the fridge that I'm going to eat after this, so I'm quite excited about that.
That's a great idea.
That's what I'm talking about. We're all steak. We're dinosaurs. We're all steak eaters.
You got those carnivore teeth for a reason.
That's right. That's
True.
right.
True. I definitely eat more chicken than I do steak, but I would prefer to have
I think
steak.
I think they were referring to, like, are you a vegetarian or do you not eat red meat? That's what I think. Obviously, it would be.
Possibly.
Maybe.
But we all like steak.
I live out here in California where everyone's vegan and tells you about it, so I proudly eat steak.
How do you like your steak? I'd like it next to my other steak. Bad Speller wants to know, how do we like our steak?
I like mine medium well, dude. to medium. As close as you can get to those. I don't like it any rarer than medium for sure. I like it in that zone, but I don't like it burnt either. So
That's how I order it, medium well.
yeah.
Me, I
Same
like
with
it.
burgers.
I like it straight medium. Got to have a little pink on the inside for me.
Well, I'm okay with that as long as it's not the whole thing is pink. Like I like a good juicy pink center, but you know, the outside got a good char, but I don't know, man, rare or something like that, or I don't. I can deal with medium.
I want it bleed. I want it mooing still.
And our last question is from Brian Russell. Has a coworker ever said that they watch your videos to help them clash?
A coworker?
Yeah, or I guess anybody that you've come across. For me, I haven't had people tell me that my videos, that like people from my real life, I have people in comments and in chats and everything all the time, but in real life, no one said that that I helped me clash, that I helped them clash, but I have had students and coworkers' children run into my channel. Like a couple of weeks ago, one of my students found my in-game video at Town Hall 9, and he comes up to me in school. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Echo?" And I'm like, "Oh, we need to talk. You need to not let everyone know about me being a YouTuber, because I don't need all my kids knowing that." But one time, one of my coworkers, she heard my voice in her living room, so she went over there and she saw her son watching one of my Clash Royale videos, which is pretty cool. Like when you hear a story like that, that's some cool stuff. But no one has ever said, from real life, that I helped them clash. You guys?
I can't say. I got a buddy of mine, a coworker that plays, but I don't know. He knows I do YouTube, but he's never really said anything about it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Snip?
same here. I've never had a real life interaction with anyone who watches my channel, so still waiting.
Well, you're about to be live streaming now. You're gonna blow up, man. You're gonna blow up.
All you gotta do is play Fortnite and take pictures. It's over, dude. You got it.
Fortnite's the go-to.
Yeah, just take pictures of Fortnite. I mean, hey, let's go.
Fortnite in real life.
Yeah, there you go. Hey. There was a question about some new league. I think I seen Phantom. He tagged me somewhere in there. He's like, "What do you think about the new league?" I'm not quite sure what.
There's a league that just came out. It's called the 2-hit league, where you use both of your hits on the same base, and no one else can attack that base. So I don't know if you have to attack your mirror in that format or not, but you basically have I'm trying to find it right now on my Discord. Here it is. It's the 2-hit War League, THWL. It just dropped this week. So basically you use both of your attacks on one base. That's the whole concept behind it.
That's kind of interesting, actually. It's an interesting concept for sure.
Well, everyone knows that's the most effective strategy in war is just hit your mirrors. I remember from one of my first clans ever, like a farm clan that used to be they'd send out the clan mail, one of those random clans where they accept random people joining, and that was like the way they organized wars, was they were like, all right, make sure you hit your mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all started that way. I mean,
Yeah.
I can remember doing that in my clan, man, but after a while you kind of catch on to that don't work, you got to kind of look at the bases.
I do like that I would like the concept of maybe you have to hit your mirror, but only one attack, not even two attacks, just the whole war. Like everyone swags one attack, and everyone just has to hit their mirror one time, and then that's it. You just get one chance, and everyone gets one chance, and that's it. Or now, even if it wasn't the mirror, but if it was like, each person only gets one attack, like that'd be a cool concept for a war, I think.
Now, a couple people in chat are saying you can't hit a base twice, but is there a way to set that up so you can in a friendly war? I've never set up a friendly war myself.
Nope. And that's what I was talking about before that I thought would be a cool addition to the game, would be more customization, especially in wars, like being able to set up just more customization, more fun and more competitive, both at the same time, and doesn't hurt the overall it doesn't hurt the overall game, because you don't have to customize, but then it gives you the option to. That would always be my choice.
Mm-hmm. Customization is always good. I like it too. Now you guys got me curious about talking to that leader of that clan. of that league and figuring out how they're going to do it. Because I read through their notes on what the whole idea was, and it was clear that you used both of your attacks on one base. So I'm wondering how they're anticipating that working. Who knows? Good questions, though.
Right.
I'll
Hey,
come
I
back
tell you
as
what
far
they
as
need to
the
bring.
league.
I tell you what they need to bring to Clash, man. They need to bring like celebrations after you 3-star, like your king. You can do a dance or something, break dance or
A
something,
taunt?
man. I mean, yeah, man, a
Like the
taunt,
taunt
dude.
from Smash Bros. They had taunts in the game.
Let's go. Like SOCOM has it now, Fortnite has it. I mean, let's go. Let's go.
A little bit of hype to Azrael. Thanks for that donation, brother. I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to find I'm part of that Discord server. I don't think I could share it though. Oh, I can invite people. Yes, I can. Look at that. I'm gonna throw it right here in the chat if anyone wants to see it. You guys can go check it out. Just tell them I sent you over. Don't spam them though. So we're out of questions, guys. Is there anything else that anyone wants to bring up, discuss, or are we calling it a night? There it is. That's that league right there if you guys want to take a look. Snip, any things you want to discuss or talk about, or you feeling good?
Oh, I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I guess the one thing I didn't bring up when I was curious is to both of I mean maybe your fans already know, but a little backstory as to Cleric, Dragoon, and Echo Through Me, the names that popped into my head when we were talking names.
Oh, you haven't heard our stories about our names, so you want to.
I don't know what Echo Through Me is about.
It doesn't mean much, man, to be honest with you. My name came about when, like I said, Gears of War, I got back into gaming. So I decided, Xbox Live, I got to make a gamer tag. So I listened to all that metal music and that hardcore music. So I was just listening and kind of putting together words and I guess lyrics from some of my favorite songs. From that came Echo Through Me. I can't remember the songs. I can remember the band. It was probably from the band Misery Signals, which was one of my favorite bands back then. Pretty brutal band from over here on the East Coast. So it doesn't have like a specific meaning or anything like that. But that's where mine came about from. Sorry there's no better story for you. Thanks for the donation there, Glassy. I appreciate it, brother.
Hey,
How
like
about
I
you,
said,
Goon? You want to share your story?
mine's terrible too. So
Yeah,
I'm
same
terrible
boat.
at choosing names.
Mine came about from a movie called Equilibrium. Christian Bale, and I was playing Killzone. Obviously, that was the game I got really hooked on, and I made the clan cleric, and that movie inspired me, and it was about gun kata. I mean, so like a first person shooter. I was like, oh, this is perfect, because in that movie there were these guys that were called Grammatine clerics, and they had a martial art and gun kata, and so they had shooting skills with guns, right? So like, have you ever seen the movie?
No.
Oh man, you guys got to see that movie, man. It's an early Christian Bale movie. But anyway, so I left that movie kind of inspired. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a clan called Cleric. And back then, you had to change your whole name. Like you couldn't. So I had to start a whole brand new account, and I called myself. And I thought about that, and I called myself Cleric Dragoon. For one, Cleric is also a holy man, and then Dragoon is English Heavy Cavalry, so it's Holy Cavalry. I'm the Holy Cavalry. So that's how it came. It's a little, it's a long story, but that's how it came to be. Of course, most people know me as Celtic Dragon. Yeah, that's
Oh man,
I should have
so
just named
funny.
myself
dragon in the
Celtic
logo,
Dragon.
so.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, I'm Snup Aluminium or Snipe Aluminium, so it's all good.
Surprisingly, people don't get my name wrong that often.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Guess I'm lucky.
I have about probably 20 nicknames that are all misspellings and mispronunciations. So
You have to also look at who's watching our videos. Lots of young people and stuff too, right? But
I could see how they mess it up. I could see it. It's okay.
Yeah.
my demographics were actually I thought it was going to be younger, and I actually looked. I remember looking at my demographics, and it was like my main demographics was the 25 to 35, which actually surprised me.
yeah, you're actually right. I did look the same time. I think only under 20% were young kids for mine as well. So my last
Those
comment.
kids are all watching Fortnite, not Clash.
Yeah,
That's right. Fortnite Snip, bro. Let's go. Fortnite Snip.
But hey, Goon, let's close up the show, man. What do you want to say before we get out of here?
Guys, thank you so much for coming tonight. Snip, enjoyed talking to you, man. It's been a long time. Like I said, I was a big fan of your work. You know that. We've talked in DMs. You know that. But anyway, guys like you inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you so much for all your hard work. And guys, thank you so much tonight for the donations and just showing up, guys. That means so much. Thank you so much.
And Snip, last things you want to say to everyone before we head out of here?
Say absolutely, man. That's always what I love to hear is people saying that the work you do inspires them. Like, it's always awesome to hear. Obviously, I got started the same way. People inspired me, so it's always really cool to hear that. So awesome to hear, and thank you both of you guys to having me on. I definitely had a good time to come and chat with you guys. You guys are both cool guys, and it was a pleasure. So thank you for having me on. And I guess I can't leave without plugging my Instagram.
Yes.
My new journeys, if you do want to follow my new journeys of photography, it is at jon.snip, snip as in from Snip Attacks, John Snip, which is also what I probably will be changing. Talking about changing names, I'll probably be changing my name of my YouTube channel. Snip Attacks doesn't make too much sense for photography tutorials and behind the scenes and stuff. So I will keep the Snip and just make it John Snip, which is me. I'm John. That's my actual real name. So probably will be rebranding the channel because, as you guys both probably know, getting your channel to a monetized state and setting up a channel and all that stuff is quite a bit of work. So rather than just destroy and start from scratch. And also, it was interesting that we had talked about before. You guys talked about switching games, and that necessarily it would be weird. But from what I've found, because I've gotten a lot of support on my photography from my quote unquote fans. That's still always weird. Sounds weird to say that. From Clash, and photography obviously has nothing to do with Clash. But I feel like when you make YouTube videos, people kind of bond with your personality and stuff like that. So not necessarily true that if you switch games or switch genres, that people won't follow, because they kind of just have come accustomed to kind of you being a part of their life as a creator. So
wait a minute. I got an idea, Snip. I mean, you could be paparazzi, man. Snip Attacks. That works for paparazzi, right? Let's go.
Let's go.
There was a good. Someone just put a good name in the chat right here. It was Snip Shots. I like that.
Snip Shots. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Oh, there it is. Hashtag Snip Shots. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, so I'll be an experiment. We'll see what happens to my subscriber count and my views as I switch content. I'll be an experiment for you guys to see what happens when you switch content.
Well, I'll tell you, I would not take away. Are you going to get rid of your Clash content?
No, absolutely not.
Good. I was going to say you want to definitely keep that. That is part of who you are, man.
Right.
So good. I'm glad you're not getting rid of that. Why don't you put your Instagram in the chat right now? Spam it in there a little bit so that people can take a look at it.
Also on my Instagram, I haven't deleted like the pictures of when it was just my personal Instagram before I got into photography, because I agree. I like to show the journey, the progression. As you guys talked about before, one of my favorite series was The Process. I like showing the process and how you change and evolve through life. So that I would definitely not delete my Clash videos.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, man. It's just too much in there to let go, but good thinking. And again, Snip, thanks so much for coming on. I've known you through YouTube for years, never actually spoken to you, not even too much in the DMs until recently, but it was really great to have you. You're a cool dude. I really wish you the best in your photography stuff. I'll be following you there. Not on Instagram, though, because I don't do the whole Instagram thing. But thanks for coming on the show. It was a lot of fun to pick your brain a little bit and see your thoughts on the game and just about life in general. So thank you, man. And if you guys have not either subscribed to or followed Goon and Snip on Twitter, their Twitters are above. And actually, I have your Twitter linked in the description below. I didn't get your YouTube on there. But if you want to share, Snip, your YouTube or your Instagram, you could do that in the chat right now. And that would be awesome. But thanks for coming down.
Yeah, you guys can see in the chat. Yeah, that's me, Snip Attacks, with the crazy black and yellow logo.
crazy
custom
stuff.
design. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, guys. I enjoyed it.
It was great, man. I always love having someone good that can engage in some good conversation on the show. If you guys haven't followed me over on Twitter, please do. Also, my Discord is just thrown in the chat there by Bad Speller, so come on through and hang out over there. It's been a ton of fun. Goon, you're always the man, week in, week out. I love doing this show with you, brother. And everybody...
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Everybody in the chat, the donations that came through, all the love that came through, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys coming through every single week. And I did put my Gawk Box stuff up there as well as the show went on. I heard some of those coming through, and I didn't have it set up, so I set it up mid-show. So if you guys were doing Gawkses throughout, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But that's been it. Last words, guys, or are we all done?
We're good to go. Until next time, be ready for that tweet, guys, on who our next guest is. It's going to be coming.
It will be coming. And again, take care, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see all you back here next week. Make sure you check out Goon. Just because this show happens over on this channel doesn't mean that Goon isn't doing stuff, because he's got stuff for you every single day on his. I'll see you later, guys. Take care and be good.